there, darling hearts. It's Emma here, Timeless Cookery. I want to talk about programming. When I was growing up, my granddad, on my father's side, he was in the war, and when he returned to the family home when my father was aged 4, and my daddy didn't know his own father until he was 4 years old. You can imagine, he never spoke about the war, but he must have been affected by it. Anyway, he was a very strong man, he was a miner, and he had big hands. And he said to me, I can remember him saying to me when I was quite little, like a joke, he said, "Come here," in a loving way. "Come here. What do you want? Sudden death or an ambulance?" And I was a bit like, neither, really. Don't really want either of those things. That's what my dad grew up with. That's programming. So, we're thinking you've only got 2 options and they're both violent. And then on my mother's side, her father, my other grandfather, advised my own father to not have too many children because kids keep you poor. So my dad used to tell the tale, and he used to say, and he said to me, "Don't have too many kids because kids keep you poor." And then, of course, I'd go to bed thinking, wow, I'm keeping my parents poor. Oh dear, I'm keeping my parents poor. What kind of programming? I'm not blaming any of my ancestors for the words they came out with. I'm just observing the programming. And we all get it all of the time. We get the programming. And we need to be aware of it so that we can transmute, transfigure, dispel. We can dispel the words that have been used that have made us think a certain way. And until we do, there's not really any healing. So whilst I'm always going on about the food as the medicine, and, we've got to build our bodies with good, strong building blocks so that we can have our minds clear, so that we can use the immense power of our human intent, and also achieve discernment so that we can choose this way or that way for the highest good. The food is the medicine, is the foundation. But at the same time, we've got to look at the programming. So what programming have you noticed in your life? What words do you repeat to yourselves? I woke up this morning singing, it was in my head, "I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made." It was an 80s ballad. It was so cheesy, from the Human League. "I'm only human, born to make mistakes." What kind of programming is that? I'm only human. I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made. Yes, you're made of flesh and blood, but I'm only human, born to make mistakes. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are great. Mistakes are the way we learn. We make some mistakes, then we go, that didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. We're brilliant in that respect. We're amazing beings. And, what if they'd sung me songs when I was growing up about, you're a being that harnesses the light of the universe, and you can use that light to send out good vibes and help other people, and when we help each other, it all makes the world better. What if I'd been hearing songs like that? When my kids were little, I let them watch BBC CBeebies, which I thought was the least worst of all the animations and the rubbish that was on the telly. I switched off mainstream media when my children were born, so that was 20 years ago. I just switched it off because I didn't want my little one, who was like a sponge and mimicking everything she heard, to hear the news that was saying things like, 33-year-old woman was raped and left for dead. It's like, well, I don't want her thinking about things like that, or the terrorism, or the bombings, or the whatever else is on the mainstream media. So I just switched off the mainstream media about 20 years ago, which has helped me immensely. But one of the things I let the children watch on the BBC, I saw it one day and I thought, heck, I've got to turn off the BBC. This was like 19 years ago, 18 years ago. It was a programme with Muppets. It was a puppet programme, and there were these little kids, and the little kid was saying, "Mummy, I think I've got a cough." And the mummy said, "Oh, let's take you to the doctor." And the only human in this kids' programme, they were all Muppets, except there was one human, and the human was a doctor with a white coat with stethoscope round his neck. at its neck. That's an interesting little slip of the tongue there. And the little theme tune for this BBC children's programme was the doctor will tell you what's good for you. You know, the doctor will tell you what's good for you. Not you trust your instincts, or you decide how your body's feeling, or how do you feel after you eat that certain food. No, the programming was the doctor will tell you what's good for you. So think about how you may have been programmed and what things are going through your mind. I'm still hearing adverts from the 1970s. A Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. Because we're like sponges and we suck it all in, and then it just repeats itself like a program. That's like programming. So observe what comes into your mind and look at the programming. What did your parents tell you? What did your grandparents say? There's no blame here. I'm not pointing fingers and going, you were wrong. No, I'm just talking about things that seep into our subconscious, and then we replay these programs, and that's what sort of guides our life. So we need to reprogram our programming. So hi Louise, hello darling. Lots of love to you all. See me at timelesscookery.com if you've got any kind of issues with gut health, because I've got an amazing program. It's not a program, it's a membership, but you get my core teachings and you get a how-to video vault and you get a support group, and we have cook-alongs, and it's a lovely community of people. We're motivated, we inspire each other, and it keeps you on track with getting the building blocks you need to build a strong body so that your mind can be clear, so that you can reprogram yourself. And we do work with other modalities that help you get in the right headspace to really succeed. Lots and lots of love to you. It's tough out there. The world is a really weird place at the moment, but remember, it's Earth School, and this is an avatar, and your spirit and your soul is in this avatar, animated by a higher bright force, whatever you want to call it, the source, the God, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. And it's like a game. And if you can get to the point where you can just laugh at what's going on and feel free from fear, it actually makes it easier to choose this or that, because that's all we've got. This is a duality. This is a duality, and this is the 3D realm, and your body is your 3D vessel. There's no ascending anywhere to 5D until you've actually made peace with the 3D and started to live in joy, yeah? So if you want to get some joy and if you want to hang out with a bunch of people who are quite joyful, then come and join me in Timeless Cookery Club. See me at timelesscookery.com if you want to know the details. Mwah! Lots of love to you. Have a great day. Sun's shining. It's lovely.